Wednesday, November 1st, let me get you caught up to speed. Last night, in a mid-tier hotel lobby, a group of academics, scientists, and all 22 experts fought, learned, and toiled and burned the midnight oil to extract what is known around the world as the best segment in all of sports television. It's not your grandmother's power rankings. For that, you can go down to that said aforementioned hotel lobby and pick up a USA Today. This is the best segment in all of sports. It's time for Nick's Tiers.
Thank you, as always, for the wonderful introduction, Kevin Wildes. It is this time of year where teams start dropping from the tiers. If you are on the relegation level and you lose, you fall off the tiers. Unfortunately, 3 such teams fell off last week.
Ouch.
So off the tiers, we can show you the Patriots, Giants, and Bears all eliminated from the tiers. The Cardinals had already been eliminated. So, to the 28 teams remaining, only 2 on the relegation tier this week. Let's reveal them. Carolina and Green Bay. Carolina is at Cleveland. Green Bay is hosting the Los Angeles Rams, maybe without Matt Stafford, so Green Bay maybe can stay alive. All right, now to the 26 teams that truly matter. Insane turnaround level, because that's what it would take. These teams are not dead, but it would take an insane turnaround. They all have 3 wins. The Titans maybe have some life with Will Levis, who played very well in his first start. The Raiders maybe have some life with Aiden O'Connell, even though they don't have the pixie dust of Jimmy G's quarterback wins anymore. The Washington move that played well last week, and the Broncos had their best win since Peyton Manning was their quarterback against anyone. And so they would need an insane turnaround. Next, I'm just sick of this NFC South. Honestly, one of these teams is going to host, maybe Philadelphia, host in round 1 of the playoffs.
That's a change.
I mean, we saw it last year.
I know.
When the 8-win Bucks hosted the 12-win Cowboys. At least Atlanta this week made a change at quarterback, so they went with Heineke. They're going to go with Heineke over Ritter. Yeah. We'll see if Baker can break the losing streak, and we'll see if Carr can string some wins together. But we need, at some point, we need someone in this division to distinguish themselves. First round fodder. Any of these 4 teams, I should say, could steal that 7th and final playoff spot. It's going to be far harder in the AFC than in the NFC, but any of them could do it. Now, they could not win a playoff game. They would be annihilated by the 2 seed in their respective conferences, but you can't eliminate them from playoff contention. Can someone call Tom? No, seriously. Anybody got Brady's number? Like, can someone call him? Like, maybe you could. Does he think he could make his 11th Super Bowl with these rosters, with these defenses, with these receivers, with these remaining schedules? Probably. Would all of these teams be better off with him coming fresh off the beach for the rest of the year at 46 years old? Definitely. Can any of them reach their goals, which is for each and every one of these teams, at the very least, a deep playoff run, if not a Super Bowl appearance with their current quarterback? Absolutely not. Can someone call Tom? Must-win weekend?
Ooh.
Kind of. Here's why. Both Buffalo and Cincinnati seem scary, but both have 3 losses. You go to Buffalo, they still have to go to Kansas City, Philadelphia, and Miami, and have a home game against Dallas. Cincinnati, that yes, they right now look like they're back. They are also looking up at the entire division. And they have to go to Jacksonville, to Kansas City, and have 3 divisional games left, and they've struggled within that division. So one of these teams is falling to 4 losses, at the midway point of the season in the tougher of the 2 conferences. So dare I say it might be a must-win weekend. Probably a year away. 3 really good teams, legit scary, but they're probably a year away from being able to win the Super Bowl. All of them have to be considered actual contenders, but none of them, I think, right now are considered really on the shortest list for the tops of their conference. Super Bowl upside. At their best, all of these teams can win the Super Bowl. All of them have quarterbacks that are good to great. All of them have a head coach who has won a Super Bowl already. All of them have good to great weapons. All of them have an elite playmaker or 2 or 3 in Baltimore and Dallas's case on defense. All of them have the upside of making the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl, I should say. Media whipping boys, Vegas favorites. A whole lot of hand-wringing for the number 1 seed, only team with a top 5 offense, top 5 defense, and the team that is literally right now, if you go to Las Vegas, the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Whole lot of concern for that team amongst talking heads like us, not so much concern in the desert. And then, for the first time all year, a new team atop the tiers. And you know what? We don't have a banner for them, but we'll give it to them. The midseason champs. Okay. They've earned it. They've avoided the horrific loss. While it is not the standings, only having 1 loss midway through the season is noteworthy. They have a stud rookie who is not just in defensive player, rookie of the year, but defensive player of the year contention. Their quarterback, while he has struggled in certain areas, has evolved in others. They have an awesome playmaker in A.J. Brown. Right now, they deserve to be atop the tiers. That, Greg Jennings, is the tiers heading into Week 9.
I like it. The credit is nice, but long overdue. I like that Eagles are finally on top of the tiers. And I feel like I know why you did that. I won't get all the way into it because they played the Dallas Cowboys, and you believe that you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys upset the Eagles. That, in turn, allows the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Dolphins, and then the Chiefs back up. Yeah, I know how the committee works. However,
the Eagles
this is long overdue. The Philadelphia Eagles should have been atop the tiers weeks ago.
After they lost to the Jets? Should have elevated them then? Sorry, go ahead. As you were. My bad, buddy. Go ahead.
Because they have a great team. This was the same thing we saw the committee do last season. We penalized this team because we didn't know if they were good enough to win the close games last year. Well, this year they've been winning close games, and we've been penalizing this team all season long. Offensively, they're one of the best teams in all of football. If you look at the numbers, they don't lie. With points per game, they put up points. We act like they struggle to score, but they actually do it. You look at third down conversions, it's one of the things that you got to do well in order to sustain drives. They do it. The time of possessions, they're a great team. They're third in the league in time of possessions. Rush TDs, all the stats, they don't lie. They fit. And what they're doing, what Jalen Hurts, I will speak on, is doing, and he's injured. If this were Patrick Mahomes, and we saw Patrick Mahomes do it last year when he hurt his ankle, and we started to compare all the quarterbacks to him and say, oh, you know what? The Patrick Mahomes with the even messed up ankle is the second best quarterback in the National Football League. What Jalen Hurts he's doing it with a bum knee. We obviously understand that we see that he's hurt, and he's still putting up great numbers. And this week, we get to see them do it on a big-time stage against one of the best teams in all of their conference, and it just so happens to be their division rival, the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles. Great job. Wow. We got the committee's vote.
Listen, you guys know what that was, right?
That was a victory lap.
That was, it was Greg's kind of soft audition for a spot back on the committee. Instead of even critiquing, saying anything was wrong, it was just a 2-minute love letter to the committee saying we got it just right.
Right.
You know what?
That's right.
That could work, Greg. Go ahead.
This is not going to be a love letter, okay? And I know why you put the Eagles. Greg didn't say it, because you've been right that week after week after week, the team that's on top has lost.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And now he's saying, putting them up there. I think it's going to happen to the Jags, Nick. I think the Jags are going
they are
down.
on
Their
the
team
longest
is hot.
winning streak.
Right, and they're kind of that hot team. I think they're going to, next game.
Never know.
Because they got San Francisco the next game.
Yeah.
But I think, Nick, I hate to say it, it is looking a lot like the standings, Wildes.
Oh,
It is. You know, best record, they're number 1. I think Cincinnati should move up 2 tiers. Cincinnati is hot. Okay, they just beat the Niners. Joe Burrow is back. They should be right there next to the Jags. I mean, personally, I'd have the Jags there, but fine. They should be right there next to the Jags. And then San Francisco, because it's not the standings. I won't even go that they can be up where Cincinnati should be, but they should be up there next to Seattle. Put them up there. You got to penalize them a little because they haven't played well lately. But we all know when push comes to shove, both the Niners and the Bengals are going to have something to say about that conference championship.
Hold on. We do not know that about either team.
They don't have a good shot. Good shot.
Cincinnati is absolutely scary to play, but it is in play. They have dug themselves too big of a hole if they lose this weekend, which again, we haven't done our picks for that game, but I assume someone on this panel is going to be picking Buffalo. And the Niners, there is no team in the league that you could have a quarterback who has not played a full season, who is in the midst of a downward swing, that has lost 3 in a row, that we would say, oh yeah, but they're still clearly Super Bowl contenders.
Won a few playoff.
Look
good in them too.
You lose 3 in a row.
No, he looked good, Brew, in one playoff game.
It's a good game.
One, yes.
And the other one, he outplayed Dak Prescott.
The other one, he played poorly, and Dak just played worse. Yes, and then the other one, he lost.
No turnovers. Look, no turnovers in the playoff game.
We don't have to relitigate last year's playoff.
I think the Dolphins are underrated. It's not just because they destroyed my Patriots for the second time this season. I just feel like Tua, although everyone's like, Tua's great and Tyreek's great, I'm like, do you really think they're great? I still feel like they're underrated. Here's Tua's passer rating compared to all the quarterbacks ahead of him. He's number 1. So then it comes to this. I know they lost to the Bills and they lost to the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles' loss with a little bit of an asterisk because they had so many guys out. Of the games missed this year, only 2 guys, Jeff Wilson and Jalen Phillips, actually played that Eagles game. So I'm going to take that Eagles loss with a grain of salt. The Bills loss, however, pretty much on you. So I'm not going to try to bring must-win back, but if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, I'm like, you know what? Kind of need this game. Kind of just can't always beat up on the chumps and sort of the tomato cans of the division. And when it comes to the big boys, we get rolled.
Well, listen, luckily, according to Brew's math, the Dolphins can't lose this weekend because they're already in Germany and the Chiefs are still in Kansas City.
Honestly,
so we already know, like,
that is a bad idea.
Okay.
You guys got to get over there.
When are they flying over?
Tomorrow. They're flying over tomorrow. Miami flew over yesterday, I believe.
I
so
saw
Brew
Jalen
thinks
Waddle's
the jet
already
lag
out.
says it's got no chance.
We've seen it happen in one game already.
No, the better team won that game, Brew.
You think Dolphins are going to
I
win?
like the Dolphins pick. Yeah, good.
I kind of like the Dolphins too.
Okay, good.
I'm not
We
making
all
a pick
picked
yet,
the
but
Dolphins.
I
Good.
kinda
I like it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.